Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at ntnm.org. Jewish Chicago at this point is on the street, available for you, to be able to vote early. We have a full judicial review. It's free. We hope you'll pick it up if it's out at a location near you. If you go to the show website, ntnm.org, you'll find a link to be able to read it on the web. More circulation than ever, 60,000 readers we're expecting at a minimum, not counting the web presence. And anyway, speaking of judicial candidates, and that's pretty much the majority of what we do, on today's shoot, I've got 10 people coming. 9 of them are judges or running for judge. One of the judicial candidates in the 8th Subcircuit is a newcomer to the show, and we're happy to welcome Brad Trowbridge. Brad, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
First of all, thank you, and why don't you tell us a little bit about something about yourself?
Okay. My name is Brad Trowbridge. I'm running for judge in the 8th Judicial Subcircuit. And prior to becoming an attorney, I was a social worker for many years, worked with various populations, including teen mothers, elder abuse victims, people with HIV and AIDS, and people from the LGBT community.
Very good. And so at what point you're running for judge, you have to be a lawyer at some point.
Correct. Sometime in the mid-90s, I decided I want to be more of an advocate and play less of a therapeutic role because I felt like my natural personality was to go out and fight for people. And the career I had didn't really lend itself to that. So I decided to go to law school. I went to law school in the mid-90s at the University of Illinois College of Law in Urbana-Champaign. Came back to Chicago after that, worked for a couple of agencies, including the Legal Assistance Foundation of Metropolitan Chicago and the Domestic Violence Legal Clinic. 2004, I opened my own practice, and it's a family law practice, and about half of my clients are victims of domestic violence.
Wow. Sad, but they need people to defend them.
Right, and there, unfortunately, as you can imagine, there are a lot of funding cuts. A lot of agencies have a limited number of clients that they can serve, and so there are victims, it's usually women, who are sort of on their own unless there are private attorneys who will take their cases.
Well, good luck with those cases, that's for sure. But in the meantime, you're looking to take a step up. What made you decide you wanted to become a judge?
I think I've always wanted to do this. I think having had a background in social work and then having been an attorney and being an advocate for victims of domestic violence, this seemed like a natural progression in my career to run for judge.
And you've got you can go for circuit court, you can go for sub-circuit. So what made you decide to go in the 8th District?
Well, the 8th Subcircuit, there are 15 different subcircuits in the county, as you know. A person can run either county-wide or in one of the subcircuits. The subcircuit that I'm in runs from roughly Devon to 32nd Street, from the lake to Ashland, except in Andersonville it goes to about Western. I'm running in that area because those are the people I know. That's my community. As a gay man, there are more gay voters in the 8th Subcircuit than any other subcircuit.
Oh, definitely. You've got the whole lakefront.
Correct.
So now that's it's tailor-made for your situation, that's for sure.
Well, more so than the other 14 subcircuits.
So anyway, at least you don't have to cover the whole county.
No, I think it's much easier for someone running in a subcircuit because the parameters are defined. I talk to people all the time who are running in county races, and they're running to different suburbs, different Democratic organizations, bingo games, and so forth. And it's kind of hard to cover the metropolitan area. A subcircuit's much more manageable.
No, definitely. And you know what, of all the subcircuits, yours really isn't so bad because, one, you've got transportation all up and down the lakefront. You've got the outer drive there, the whole shot. And
oh, it's easy to navigate.
Yeah. And by the way, it's also like one of my best areas for circulation because there's by the way, if you want to know where to pick up Chicago, any place, Jewish Chicago, any place that's serving corned beef, which in your case might be from Manny's Deli to there are all the really good delis, by the way, are in that area, even all the way up into Edgewater. So there's a number of them. So if they're serving corned beef, and things like lox and cream cheese, there's a good chance Jewish Chicago is going to be there.
I've seen it out there.
What do you to campaign? You can't campaign like a normal politician would campaign.
Well, we're not allowed to express opinions about cases that might be before us. However, I have a particular focus. My goal ultimately would be to be elected and to be in domestic relations or domestic violence court because of my experience. I've represented over 500 victims of domestic violence. The counseling background sort of lends itself to understanding the dynamics of abuse. And so that's sort of my platform, that I want to be somewhere where I can make a difference in those families.
Sounds good. In terms of campaigning, I mean, you can't get on a soapbox. So, I mean, you can go on the show, of course. But, you know, do you go to different events?
I'm at some event, if not more than one, every night, whether it's somebody else's fundraiser, Democratic Party organizations, neighborhood organizations, and so forth.
No, it sounds good. So you got to be staying very busy that way.
Right, especially in a subcircuit, and in a year we think that the voter turnout will be low because there's no presidential race. Every vote will count more so than ever.
Yeah, and by the way, understand too that the primary is the election. You know, if people think that they're going to be able to vote for who they want in November, those are decided.
Right, March 20th will be the election, and whoever wins will basically wait until the November election, run unopposed.
Yeah, I think there's maybe one Republican running in the city and maybe 2 or 3 in the whole county.
I think that's right.
So, yeah, the Republican Party does not exist very much around here. Big shock. In any event, if people would like to contact you, I'm sure you have a website.
I do. It's bradfordjudge.com, or you can call us at 312-504-4258.
So thank you very much. I guess Aaron is the
Brost. Aaron Brost.
Brost, because okay. Thank you very much for being in touch, and we're glad we were able to get you on the show and fit you in, and we want to wish you a lot of luck in your campaign in the 8th Subcircuit.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, Brad.